Oh man, guys, it's fight week. Gervonta Tank Davis versus Rolly Romero. Plus it's Memorial Weekend. We're going to talk about that and what's next for Gervonta Davis right after this. What's going on, A-Side family? It's your boy Truth, and that's short for Truth Over Narrative. Welcome to A-Side Boxing Talk. Before I start, hey, you see this dope hat I got on? It's Cut Different Clothing. Hey, they the ones that sponsoring this video. So if you like what you see, you like the hats that I have under my video, make sure you check the link that's going to be in the description. You can go over there and get you a hat. Shout out to Cut Different. So, Tank Davis versus Rolly Romero, you know what I mean? It was called off before, so here we are for the WBA regular strap. I know this is a part of the WBA consolidation program where they're trying to consolidate these belts down. Down for certain individuals in certain weight classes, but we'll let the WBO live right now, and we'll talk about that later. So you got Gervonta Davis, 26-0, 24 knockouts. You got Rolly, I think he's 14-0, maybe 9, 10 knockouts. Didn't really do too much research. Either way, I think this fight is going to start off very similar to the way that Tank started off with Mario Barrios, him being very cautious. Rolly is a big guy. Even in the lead up to this fight, man, Rolly's looking huge. You know what I'm saying? Obviously, we know Tank is 5'5". I think Rolly's about 5'7", 5'8". But I think that, like I said, Gervonta had tried to box his way around the ring early. I think Rolly's going to come out very wild. Actually, I really think Loma, right? I think Rolly's going to come out Teofimo-esque, especially the way that Teofimo came out against George Kambosos. I think we likely to see Rolly come out in that same fashion, trying to get that first round stoppage, trying to rough Tank up, you know, trying to go for the glory in the first round. But I think that at this level, Tank's smart enough. I'm curious to see the ring size on this one, man. We know Tank could box, he could move if he had to. Obviously, he broke his hand against Isaac Cruz. But I'm just curious to see the ring size, because that ring size is going to let me know the advantage or disadvantage that Rolly Romero has in this fight. Either way, I think Tank gets Rolly out of there in about 8 or 9, barring any crazy stuff. Now, they just call me a conspiracy theorist. I think Rolly's a dirty fighter. So if this fight ends early because of a cut to the head or an elbow or a gash or a disqualification, I can see that happening as well. You know, there's a lot of bad blood here. We never seen nobody talk to Tank like this. You know what I mean? So we'll see. I'm not even going to get into a real serious breakdown because I just don't think it's really a need to break down Rolly's style. We know what Gervonta Tank Davis brings to the ring. So, I mean, like I said, I got him in stoppage by 8 or 9. If it's any other outcome, I'll be surprised. You know what I mean? If this fight goes the distance, I will be surprised. And I don't think that'd be a good look for Tank. But either way, right, so we on the more pressing business. So this week on the Last Stand podcast with Brian Custer, Tank, you know, said that this was going to be his last fight with Mayweather Promotions. He doesn't need the trainer wheels anymore. And he's ready to move on and control his own career. So, I mean, he has multiple options. There's multiple fights we want to see him in. We want to see him with Devin. We want to see him with Shakur. We want to see him with Tio. We want to see him in there with Ryan. You know what I'm saying? I think the disadvantage for Tank with those fights is that he is the previous generation. So he is the generation before. This is the reason why people wasn't mad at Floyd Mayweather for not fighting a Keith Thurman or not fighting those up-and-coming welterweights that was there when, you know, he was kind of the OG and moving around at that stage of his career. But with Tank Davis, obviously outside of Pedraza, Barrios, Leo Santa Cruz, I think you could safely say that those are his 3 greatest wins. He hasn't really fought equal competition. I will say that. I'm not going to say he hasn't fought anybody, but I'll say that Tank hasn't fought equal competition. But in all fairness to Tank, right, when you got what you want to call them the 4 horsemen, Devin, Tio, Ryan, Loma, right? So only Loma and Tio have fought each other. Ryan hasn't fought either one of those guys. Devin has yet to fight either one of those guys. Shakur, obviously, he's not in that same weight class yet, but he's yet to fight either one of those guys. So I think that Tank get a lot of flack, but I think his flack comes from his age and the years that he's been in boxing, and not necessarily not fighting those particular fighters, right? So Tank is what, 27 in November. I think he'll be 28. So you got a guy, you know, he's very short of 30, and all these other guys is what, 23, 24, 20, you know what I mean, that age. I think that Tank's route, man, I really think that he should, well, when it comes to what he should do, right, for a promoter, obviously, most people think that he's going to stay with Al Heyman, you know, keep making those fights there. But I think that Tank Davis is a big enough draw that he should find himself a great manager and then become a promotional free agent. Move around like Canelo's doing. Maybe take 1 or 2 fight deals at max, right? Because Tank at 135, if you go over to top rank, you got a possible Devin fight in the future. Now we know that Devin, if he wins, he's locked into another fight in Australia and possibly a Loma fight after that. But I mean, you got Shakur Stevenson over there. You got Teofimo Lopez over there that you could possibly fight at 140 if you want to, since he's moving up. You got, obviously, there's guys at PBC he could face, you know, upcoming guys, maybe a Isak Cruz 2 fight, even though, you know, I'm not really interested in seeing that fight. There's a couple fights, maybe some young up and coming guys over there. Maybe a Michelle Rivera fight. I think he's like next in line with the WBA. If he could possibly get that fight. Maybe shit, he could even go see Eddie Hearn and go on a Euro tour over there at Matchroom. You know what I mean? Fight or two over there. Whoever their best 35-pounder is. But like I said, my personal opinion, I think Tank should just go the Canelo route. You know what I mean? Fight by fight basis, maybe take a 2-fight deal max, 3-fight deal like Canelo just took with, you know, Bivol, Triple G, and a fight possibly later in England or the UK. And that's pretty much it, man. You know what I'm saying? I will be in the building for Tank and Rolly. I'm very excited about this fight. You know, this is probably, they said this is the biggest gate for boxing done at the Barclays. Tank is a star. He's a star. And the only thing is we just want to see Tank in those bigger fights. That's it, right? I think that he can make his way onto the pound for pound list. You know, maybe hopefully if he get another fight in this year, maybe sometime next year. It's just the level of competition. I'm not going to say Tank hasn't been fighting nobodies because that's a disrespect to his opponents. But I will say he has not been fighting equally matched competition. I don't even think that most people thought the Leo Santa Cruz fight was a 50-50 fight. Obviously, Leo Santa Cruz had never fought at 130. He was moving up from 26. And, you know, a couple of Tank's opponents are guys that are moving up, right? I do think had he would have not broken his hand against Cruz, I think he would have knocked Isak Cruz out. My personal opinion, right? It's up for debate. But either way, like I said, man, I'm picking Tank to win. Devastating knockout. Possibly highlight of the year this year, barring any funny business from Rolly, any elbows, any ankle bites or anything like that. And I think that Tank should become a promotional free agent. I don't think he should tie himself only to Al Heyman, right? You got Bob Arum. Tank and Bob Arum don't have no bad blood, right? And we know that if Bob Arum steps to a guy like Gervonta Davis, he is undoubtedly a star. His first fight on Top Rank would be a pay-per-view fight, an ESPN pay-per-view fight. You know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, the sky's the limit for Tank. But he is 27. He is creeping up on them years. And those younger guys aren't doing nothing but getting bigger and stronger. You know what I'm saying? So we'll see what Tank does in the future. I'm very curious to see what he says in his post-fight press conference. We'll see, man. Either way, man, like I said, this is A-Side Boxing. Tell a friend to tell a friend. Like, comment, subscribe, and we out.